Next up, oh my God, a comedian who knows how to tell a joke. Let's hear it for Scharkie Schwartz.
Now for something a little different. I want to talk to you tonight about the history of condom use in the Western world. It's a matter of some interest. Our first indication of condom use comes from the 11th century in the Middle East. And evidently, people were using the large intestine of a goat as a condom. And evidently, this must have worked quite well, because the next indication we have from history is in the 16th century. And indeed, people there were using, again, the large intestine of a goat. But there were people who adapted this somewhat. And although they were still using the large intestine of a goat, they were removing it from the goat first before they used it. Now that concludes the public interest portion of my show. So, the housewife is trying to seduce the kid who's bagging her groceries at the supermarket. And she's working, and the kid's just putting the groceries in the bag, and he has no idea what she's trying to do. So finally she asks him, "Could you carry my groceries out to the car?" And out in the middle of the parking lot, she realizes that it's now or never. Kid's thick as a brick. So she turns to him and she says, "Look here, I've got an itchy pussy." And he says, "Japanese cars all look the same to me." Sounds right, doesn't it? It's a two-door itchy pussy. Yeah, it works really well. Nice old Jewish lady is trying to buy a kosher chicken. And she lifts up the wing, she sniffs. She slips up the other wing. She doesn't like it. She sniffs in the cavity. No. She hands the chicken back to the butcher. Butcher says, "Madam, be fair. Could you pass that test?" I really love that joke. It's so naughty. Old man goes to the doctor. He says, "Doc, I can't pee." Doctor says, "How old are you?" He says, "I'm 80. Doctor says, "You peed enough." Guy's worried his widowed mother's going to be lonely. So he spends $5,000 on a parrot that speaks 4 languages. So 2 weeks later, he calls her up. He says, "Ma, how do you like the parrot?" She says, "Oh, son, thank you so much. It was delicious." He says, "Ma, I spent $5,000 for that parrot. It spoke 4 languages." She says, "You should have said something." I like, it's the that whole joke was like, he should have said something. Yeah. Anyway, 2 Jews are walking past a Roman Catholic church. And there's a sign outside. It says, "Convert to Catholicism today and receive $5,000. So one guy looks at his friend and he says, "I like it. I'm going to do that. Wait for me." So he goes into the church. An hour later, he comes out. His friend says, "Well," he says, he says, "they put holy water on me. They prayed over me. They gave me this Bible. I'm a Catholic now." His friend says, "Where's the $5,000? He says, "What is it with you people?" I like that one too, a lot. So the doctor says to the husband, "Your wife has acute angina." Yeah. See where it's going? He says, "Yeah, her tits aren't bad either." Married couple asks their teenage son what he wants for his birthday. He said he wanted a watch. So they let him. It's okay. Guy's in the proctologist's office. He's having a rectal examination. Proctologist says to him, "It's not unusual to get an erection during this procedure." He says, "I don't have an erection." Doctor says, "I do." That's all I got for tonight.
Jonathan Schwartz, everyone. Keep it going for Jonathan Schwartz.